Ending is down, but they're looking for the killer blow. That's it, back of the end zone. Dagger! He's looking. Jamil's coming. He's moving. He's got him. He's got him. It was caught, but Jed has called the sack. Incomplete. He called the sack. It's 2 points to the Hammerhead. An unbelievable sack there by Jamil. This is the last game of the day. It's caught and it's in. It's a touchdown.
That's it.
It's a touchdown. The last play of the game. The clock is at zeros. That's it. Your Swansea Hammerheads are advancing to the Division 1 final, having knocked off the 2 seed and having knocked off the 1 seed. Alan Young, you look absolutely stunned.
What do you mean by live? Genuine live?
Yes.
We're broadcasting.
Hello, radio!
And now, a new episode of The Way We HNC It. Yes, everyone, we are back. It is The Way We HNC It. We've had a bit of a break since our National Flag Football League finals show. We might have had a break. We might have had taken some time off. But do you know what didn't, ladies and gentlemen? Flag football did not, and we are here to talk about it after a fantastic couple of weeks and an even better weekend. And I am joined by my co-host and good friend, Mr. Stuart Anderson. Tree, good evening. How the devil are you?
Hi, Bez. Very well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to hear your voice on the internet once again.
It is.
I'm sure the last time we saw each other, we were actually. Well, it wasn't that long ago.
We were dancing.
We were actually. I wasn't dancing. I was parenting. But my son was thoroughly enjoying the evening's entertainment and did not want to leave. So we had a great time, Bez.
Good.
That's nice.
Why you do it, really. You know.
Yeah, that's what Flag brings us all. I was at a table with Tom Clark, Mikey Scott. I was spoiled all night. It was lovely.
I think every host ever of the Way We HNC It was there.
All attendance, yeah.
Or every full-time host. We did have Nikki obviously once as the guest host, but every full-time host was there. Yeah, it was very nice. Good bit of
we had
good
fun
dancing.
Fun little travel up, Bez. But yes, other than that, it's been a quiet few weeks. I've not participated in much flag football recently. I don't know about you participated in any flag over the past 3-4 weeks?
No,
I haven't either.
Not recently, I didn't go to the first Winter League, but we will talk all about that. I did noise up the Distillers to see if there was any training, and there is coming back. But
nice.
Those of you that have a keen eye on social media will know that the quarterback of and kind of club glue of the Murray Distillers, Mr. Dave Ronald, married his fiancée and now wife. So congratulations to them. But yes, hopefully I'll get a run out in a muddy field with them this autumn.
It's certainly interesting weather at the moment, so I can't imagine what's going to be up there for those guys. But you could go Friday night in Aberdeen. Friday nights in Aberdeen are back.
Friday Night Flag is back.
Want to stay dry?
Aberdeen, so it's potential if we're over visiting the in-laws and stuff can get back up on a Friday night. So
plenty of options.
There's plenty of options for flag football this off season. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, it's all go. There is no such thing as a flag football off season.
Not anymore.
It used to be where it went dead for 8 months, but now there's absolutely no way to avoid it. So is it time for some?
I think so. I think it is time for some headlines. Let's go through the main ones, Beth.
Let's do them.
Greg with the news.
Top stories on the Way to HNC this week. Top Gun, Top Winner League, Bez.
Once again.
Things never change, really.
Once again, Top Gun, top of the table. Although they were top of the table this time last year, and they didn't win. But this year, they are top of the table again. They are undefeated. They played 5 games, and their points difference is 137.
Yeah, I have no idea who's playing for them this season. Although Jules did put a call to arms out early in the season. I remember seeing a Facebook post or Instagram story or something of that nature. And it did pique my interest, but I wasn't too sure what I was doing. But yeah, they dominated again, didn't they? Good old toppy top guns. This is always a time where you see Jules smile and be happy playing flag football.
Yeah, a lot of quarterback in, lots of good players around him, having a lot of fun. Big league again this year. 11.
Very impressed this year. Yeah, it's really interesting, Bez, to see the sort of the growth of Winter League still continuing. Can it be around the ideal setup? And it's really interesting this year, Bez, with the under-17 Scotland team.
TS.
Great opportunity for them to get lots of game time, play up against different abilities. Exactly what Winter League is built for. And I think that goes across the board for a lot of the other teams. It's just getting guys reps and getting time. And that's what it's now coming to fruition, not just with the adult, but with like the youth stuff starting at the next game day. Yeah, that's what it's made for. I'm so happy to see it keep growing. 5 and 6 games in a game day, though. I love that. It's like Iron Man flag football. Yeah,
it's a lot. It's a
lot. That's why you
rotate.
rotate. There's loads of games, lots of opportunity, lots of people can go and play. Obviously we couldn't go play because we were participating in other Scottish sports that evening, or gatherings.
Well, it was the same day, right?
It's the same day. That's why I couldn't go.
Sorry, God, it was.
Bez, where was your anniversary?
What was I
remember?
doing? Oh, yeah.
What are you doing? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
That's why I wasn't there, because I was accompanying you and all of your dearly beloved friends and family.
Yes.
So I wasn't there. So I didn't see it was there. Although I did see the Colts had a very small squad of Grangemouth contingents. I think there were a little bit, because obviously a lot of people are playing for other teams.
Yeah.
There wasn't many people left. I think the next one should be a little bit more. I'm anticipating to play the next one, so there's one extra body.
Hell yeah.
And I think it's the 6th of November, the next one. Is it?
I think
9th of November.
The 6th is a Wednesday, isn't it?
It's the 9th of November, apparently. Yeah, I just had to get my information. This is where my news at my wasn't updated. Yeah, my teleprompter is not that great. Normally I would read "I'm the Ron Burgundy of the Flag Football News Podcast." Like, just put it in front of me and I'll read it. And I didn't have the information,
Anderson?
so I just made it up. Stuart Anderson?
I'm Sir Stuart Anderson.
9th of November, Bess.
9th of November.
Aye. It's a long day as well, that one. I remember I was working with Youngie on the schedules for this one, and it's not just the adult that day. It's you get later on in the afternoon, and it's the under 16, I think, and under 13, or maybe it's under 16. And it's a long day. I think the first games are like 1, the last games are like 7:45 at night.
Yeah, they're and I think they're 1 on 1 off, aren't they?
Pretty much. And I think there's a couple of teams got back-to-backs. I think the longest a team is off for is 3 games. We tried to do our best. There was a couple where it was like there was like 2.5 hour wait between games, so I had to try and fiddle it around to try and reduce it for everyone. But yeah, see what happens the next one. But it's just, I don't know. I was trying to think of any news headlines from the Winter League for like Top Guns being top of Winter League. I'm not shocked or surprised.
No.
I think the only thing, look at it, maybe the Silver Cats were a bit lower than expected. Maybe the under 17s picking up 3 wins out of their 5 games. That's positive.
They got a tie as well.
I think it was 3rd.
Was it 2 and a tie, or was it 3 wins?
I think
it was a tie.
There was a tie in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, 13-13 it was, yeah. My only question was, now I've not been participating, Bez, and this is where I could show my naivety to the whole situation.
Your naivete.
Yeah. There's 3 other categories that I saw in the standings, and obviously I have not been keeping up to date with things.
The bonus points?
Yeah. Do we want to go over what those are? Because I have no idea.
So, yes, but I just need to open the document.
I know, I'm going through them just now going to, can I pull this up super quick?
Yeah. So
sorry, Alan.
So one of them is like, it's like a loss within 6.
Oh,
so it's like the rugby. It's like the loss within 6. It's the what's the other one? The like scoring a certain amount of touchdowns in the game.
I've got it here. I found it. Yeah.
So
wins will earn teams 4 points.
And a shutout. Yeah.
A tie will earn each team 2 points. Teams scoring 4 or more touchdowns will gain you 1 bonus point.
Yeah.
Teams recording a shutout victory will gain 1 bonus point, and teams losing by 8 points or less will gain 1 bonus point.
Yeah.
Man, Aberdeen oil cats would love that rule.
All
Times
right,
they've lost by less than 8.
Ow! In the back, Mr. Anderson. Jeez.
No, I've got to get my shots in somehow, eh?
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, you would spend a whole day talking about how many times you and the Crows have conceded less than a point each.
No.
Until this season, obviously, but you know.
Oh yeah, that was. Ow.
I love Aberdeen. Those guys are sound. Anyways, so it's the extra point. That's really interesting. Like, even to kind of put a bit of spice into it, it's not just straight up wins and losses. Like, it come the end of the year, if you can get a few shutouts, it makes you focus on your defense, and it matters now to get a shutout and keeping a clean sheet bonus, if you want to call it that. And then, like, if you're obviously running up the score, it then does matter. Like, if you want to, score 4 or more touchdowns, perfect.
And it really encourages you to like keep at it.
Yeah, up the pace.
If it's even if you're down by 12, the game's gone. But if you're down by 12 and you have the ball, you can score.
Yeah, because really
to gain the point in the standings, like you don't just have to like it's gone. Whatever.
Yeah, you should know how I play Winter League. I've talked about it a few times, but like I always treat it as like you always get 2 possessions per half each, so it's like 4. So basically, you're looking to be perfect, and that's 4. That's a perfect Winter League or short format sort of scoring system. It's like if you can get 4, you're either going to win or tie. You're not normally losing when you score 4 touchdowns in that format. Not usually. Obviously, Top Guns are probably an outside bet of that rule. But anyone that's competitive mid-table, like if you're doing that, that's really good. And so you'd have to throw a perfect game.
Yeah, and trying to like earn the middle of the, like earning the bottom playoff spot, as it were.
Because top 5, I think, make it to the playoffs this year. I think I was reading that.
Top 5, just a single bye.
Yeah, if you got the standings, Youngie's got the adult split already, so it's like top 5, and then 6 through 11 for the bottom.
Okay, yeah.
So I guess number 1 would get maybe they did a round robin last year.
It's another group, yeah. So that means so like at the moment it's Border City and TS17 are the difference, 11 and 12 points.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
And Border City's got 2 extra 8 points and 1 extra shutout to get them up there. Yeah. And that's where it's gonna matter to play. And I think that's up in the pace is gonna be really interesting. I like that one to keep pushing, but at the same time not to throw the ball and throw a pick and give them the chance. It's really more strategically thinking than you think. And with only being 12-minute clocks or whatever, it just makes it so much more challenging and much more methodical about what you're doing.
It's frantic, right?
And that's great. That's what's going to bring a lot of experience out for the guys to learn about clock management, understanding where they are possessionally in regards to like the clock. Making sure we had in the right position to be successful. Like, that's an extra point. Like, should I throw this or should I wait for the clock to expire? There's so many different little nuances around the rules and stuff. So. Yeah, excited for Winter League this year. I'm actually looking forward to playing. Are you coming down? Are you getting a chance to come and participate?
I might come to one of them. I'm not sure which one yet. What we got? We've got a November date and a December date, I think. So
I think it's October, November, January, February, March.
Okay, yeah, I'll figure it out. I didn't play a single Winter League day last year, and that was.
I didn't. I
think. Did you not play the first one?
I don't remember. It's a bit of a blur. I'm going to try and get to at least one. I've said to myself, I can do the 9th of November. I can do that one. Anything after that, I'm moving house, Bez.
You are.
I've not sold my house yet. So if anyone is looking for a lovely 2-bedroom home in the north of Dunfermline, I need to move house. So I should be okay for this one. It's not sold yet, so we should be fine. But looking into January, February, March, I don't know where I'll be. So
it is. I'll be honest with you, and this is if you're here for the flag football chat, might want to like hit the 15-second push for a couple of times just here. I moved house the first week of December, and it was horrendous. So good luck to you.
Thanks, Bez.
So the day we got the keys, it snowed here.
Oh no!
And for the rest of the week, the warmest it got was -8. So it snowed and then it froze, and we live on a hill.
Yeah, that's not.
So we were like trying to drive the van up and down this residential hill to get to the top, to get up to the junction for us, and the road just like black, like froze solid. There was like a solid 2 centimeters of hard packed ice on it, and they just didn't. It just wasn't cleared. Like the main
That's
roads through town
wild.
were, but getting out the back, they just didn't bother. So
Yeah,
there
you're
was, like,
literally
folk-
in the middle of nowhere, though.
there was like folk going out with, like, their kitchen salt trying to clear their driveways and stuff.
It's
So,
a little
yeah.
bit different to these neck of the woods. But moving Christmas, I don't know what's going to happen, Bez. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well,
We'll see.
good luck.
Anyways,
And so on to the next headline.
well, Bez, moving on to the next headline, we have the Scoff Awards, Bez.
Scoff Awards, big
Do.
deal, and I apologise if anyone doesn't have their eardrums left.
I about died, Bez. I don't know what the viewers are going to think and if you're going to edit that, but my lord, I about soiled myself.
Oh, I don't know if we can.
Whew.
But hey, got a new transition, so there we go.
Yeah, thanks, man. That led me right into that one correctly. So there's been a couple Facebook posts put out on Scottish flag football and obviously shared by yours truly, Mr. Besley Berry, on the Way They HNC It Facebook page, which you can click the like and follow button on. We want to go through the Hall of Fame inductees for Scoff firstly. You want to, any particular order?
Well, they're not one and the same, but they're close to being the same.
Yep.
So yes, there were a fantastic group of nominees for the Hall of Fame this year. The final shortlist was David Mooney Sr., John Miles, Neil Arnold, and Tommy McGeorge. All names well known to the community of the kind of Scottish flag football community, especially those that have kind of been around a little bit longer. So the way that the Scottish Flag Football Awards are working this year is the chairman, which is Alan Young, one of the many hats in flag football that he wears. He is the chair of the Scottish flag football at the moment. So he put together a kind of working underneath him. There's like we never use the word committee, but it's a working group.
It's a working group. Yes.
So I'm working on various bits of stuff. So there's stuff that I'm involved in, just trying to help out, but I don't get involved. For example, in there's a whole governance side of it with people that are very, very good at that, very talented people, and the youth stuff. Just living where I do, it's just really hard to get involved with the youth stuff. But I try and help out where I can. And from that working group, there was a kind of awards judging panel. I don't know how you would call it. A panel to kind of sift through the unprecedented amount of nominations that we got.
Was there a lot?
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
Yeah. It's fantastic. It was fantastic, and even getting it down to like the final group was difficult.
Okay.
Never mind making the actual decision on the individual winners. Now,
I felt rather positive with when I filled in mine, because a lot of the teams and names I also put on my form are on the other awards, but we'll come to in a minute after the Legacy Awards.
Yeah.
And I was like, I put them in the sheet.
It was really, really cool. And so, full disclosure, because I know that people will be like, Bez knows, but he's not saying anything, right? The night that the decision-making call was on, I was out with my work having mandatory fun, right? So
mandatory fun.
Mandatory
work, Bez.
Mandatory team building
fun.
fun. And to be fair, I was allowed to book the restaurant, so we went to Maggie's Grill in Aberdeen, which we've spoken about on the show before.
We have, yeah. It's been brought up.
So yeah, but what it did mean is I missed a good chunk of the call, and Youngie, because I'm going to the awards night, refuses to tell me who the winners are, except the ones I actually heard. So I only know some of the youth ones and the legacy ones, right? I don't know any of the others. So, and we'll get to them. We'll get to why that's important.
Yeah. So
shortly.
You can see the inner circle. You're just not allowed in it.
Yeah.
Or you're allowed in it. You just can't see what's in the inner circle.
I was late to the party, basically. So
got it. Okay.
I got like the end of the cake. I didn't see it cut.
The marzipan bit at the end that nobody likes.
To be fair, I do love marzipan.
Do you? Oh, man, I'm not a big fan of the marzipan. Take that off and give me the cake any day.
So, yes. So the legacy category came up, and that was that was a separate form, a separate nominations. So every year, one person will be inducted into the Scottish Flag Football Hall of Fame, and the initial plan was every 5 years for a defunct club would go in. I think that 5 years might have some wiggle room to it. There's not that many defunct clubs in Scotland, really. And I guess the barrier to, the bar to get in is a lot more than just you're not there anymore. So we'll kind of see how that goes in the future. But obviously, this year being the first year, it was very easy to make the decision. The nominees for the team award this year were the Carluke Predators, and also the Kirkcaldy Bulls. And I'm fairly certain that it will not be of a surprise to anyone that the first team to be inducted into the Scottish Flag Football Hall of Fame is, of course, the Kirkcaldy Bulls.
Woo!
Woo! They're we can do cheering actually. There we go.
How loud is it going to be though? That's okay.
Yeah, so we can do cheering and clapping.
Oh, and clapping.
And clapping as well, apparently. Shut up.
Just cut off the crowd like shh.
So yeah, obviously the Bulls, their record kind of goes without
phenomenal.
Obviously, yeah. You're very close, Tree, to a lot of the former Bulls players.
Yeah, I'm indeed.
Yeah, what's it like? No, like what was it like? Kind of, was your introduction must have been like fairly kind of to football? Must have been through most of those guys, right?
Kind of, yeah. So originally when I kind of started getting into flag football, there was a relationship at the time between Carnegie and the Kirkcaldy Bulls. I think Neil probably said, but it didn't quite come to fruition how everyone kind of wanted it to be, the Bulls would then try and nurture that and try and help them go into what they eventually could be, or at least transfer knowledge. And there were some elements, there's still some really good stuff that came from it. There were sessions and booklets, and Nearly obviously his knowledge of the game is just unparalleled to most other people when it comes to knowledge. And that was my early introduction. It was like, oh, here's these guys called the Kirkcaldy Bulls, and we played a few of them at training, and it was just like playing boys against men. It was just not through like athleticism, just through sheer knowledge and experience. Like they were just running holes around us. So yeah, so my experience of them initially was like, oh my goodness gracious me, who the hell are these guys? And then later grew into more of a relationship with them. You're right. I think, can't remember what year it was, but Neil, I think it was Bob, my Stevie Guthrie kind of invited me to go along to Big Bowl one year. It was myself and Chan. I think the first year it was Grant Hill got invited from a Carnegie player, and then the next year it was myself and Chan that got invited to go along to Big Bowl with them. And that was really, for me, a kind of a step to where understanding the game, what else can I bring back to the club? How can I take that knowledge myself to not just better me, but better the people that are around me? And it was a really nice, good experience. I enjoyed it. We had a good laugh when you're out naturally with a lot of the guys. You have Bud and stuff out there too coming to play. You're having a laugh with them all. It was great. But yeah, it was an unbelievable experience to be able to spend time with them and learn from them. And a lot of where my quarterbacking experience comes from is just literally hanging off Neil's shoulders. Like, what would you do here?
To this day.
Yeah, and even having him in the Colts this season, there was times where the feedback I'm getting is like, you're not going to get any better feedback from any other player quarterback wise. I mean, obviously there are people that play quarterback as well, but from a sheer knowledge transfer point of view, if Neely sees something, he's know what he's talking about, and he's able to identify defense and weaknesses and video analysis and all type of stuff. And that's the type of things that I've kind of tried to take into my own game. It's quite methodical. You just break down what's in front of you, and I can see as I've got over the years, I'm getting better only because that's what I'm trying to do, is take that transfer knowledge and put it into my own game. And I think I think the Bills across the board, phenomenal team. I got a chance to play with pretty much most of them. There's a few I haven't had a chance to play with. A lot of the older guys, I don't think I ever got a chance to see Tommy play, but they speak so highly of him as well, and his antics. But from getting to know Guthrie through it, and then Pasnick, Grant, McLean, then Bud, a lot of the other newer guys that came at the end, and obviously a lot of the guys at the beginning, like Sean, Mackenzie, obviously Bob, we've mentioned Stevie Bramwell as well, and his brother, Neil's brother as well, played. They've hung around, and obviously a lot of them still, participate and take part in like social events, and that's what a lot of the clubs do, Bez, as well. It's not just a legacy of they played in the past. It's like they continue going through what can we give back, and then some of them still play a little bit, and then they still have the social element where they still hang out together. And have you seen their rings?
Oh yeah.
They got these like big championship rings made as well, handed them out between themselves. So as a legacy club, it's not something that's just ended. They're still a bunch of guys that adore flag football and played it for years and are basically still a family, and they all hang about. And that's where this, as you said, no better team to start off with.
Yeah.
They're the pinnacle of what were, of what could be, and in the last team to bring a national championship to Scotland until this year.
And it's interesting that you say that, because their decade of dominance started in 2003, which is a long time before most active players.
I was 2016,
became active in the sport. I was 12 at the time.
Yeah.
I was 12 years old when it all started for them. And so for those that are unaware of the Bulls, just the numbers alone are staggering,
mind-boggling,
and will never come close to being matched.
The only one that's on a start of this is the Hornets league results. But to get you always do the comparison, like how long would it take Haaland to break Cristiano Ronaldo's goal scoring record? Or it's like 14 years, or how Tiger Woods remained the world number one for how many years. It's kind of like that. It's like, the Hornets have been winning, but you got to go for another 10 years doing that.
It's like, it's impossible. So between 2003 and 2012, they played 122 games in the BAFA setup, or SFFA setup. Of those 122 games, they won 121 of them. At the same time, they were that's a 99%. That's a better than 99% win rate. At the same time, they were playing abroad in Europe.
I think they went to Le Havre.
Yeah, they
Big
went
Balls.
Yep. They were playing abroad, and they went 92 and 34 abroad. In their decade of dominance, they went 213 game wins to 35 losses. Their BAFA win streak reached 98 games.
Mental.
Right? Basically, in terms of the BAFA league, they lost a game 14-12 to Grangemouth, 14-12 to Grangemouth in early 2005, and then did not lose a game in the BAFA league. And there's no until coming here. That's just like they didn't lose a game.
They just didn't lose a game after that. And that was it. I think
so their final
did continue off his wins when he kept playing.
So he obviously ended up at.
I think that ended at the Smoke.
Yeah, ended in the Carnegie Smoke.
It was
final.
Smoke Division 1 final, and that's when it ended. And I think I got to 127 wins or something. I don't remember what it was, but that's when it came to an end.
Yeah, so he, the final Kirkcaldy Bulls match, as it were, a 40-26 win.
We need to get him on before his nomination. We need to get him on, Bez, and just
don't worry. The discussions are ongoing.
They had perfect.
The discussions are ongoing about we
need to
get a Bulls episode with the Bulls. So that is the big one. That is what I consider will be the big celebration at the awards night a week on Saturday.
Yeah, perfect.
That's going to be very exciting, and there are plans afoot to mark that occasion.
And I think a few of them are staying over as well.
Yeah. So
I am in the little Bulls group, and they have been participating in chat about the evening, about hotels and stuff. So they are coming prepared to stay over. So they will be partying, I
There
believe.
for a party. Good.
Mm.
Good. Yeah. So that's going to be as I said, that'll be for me. I think that'll be the highlight of the evening. But there are loads of other awards to be given out based off the pillars of Scoff, which I can't remember the way that it's properly, like, formally written.
Do we want to do the other legacy award? We did the team one.
Oh well, yeah, obviously.
Oh, I don't know if you.
Yes, Neil Arnold will be as you may have noticed from the constant chat about him. Neil Arnold will be the first individual
player
nominee.
Is it individual or player?
So I think it's individual because it could be
Could be. I thought that.
Could be a coach or a administrator or I don't know, whatever other ors there are. It could be, I think it'll be, as the years go on, I think it'll be widened, for those that have made a key contribution to the game.
Yeah.
And we all look forward to that and seeing Neil go up there and see the team go up there will be very, very, very special. So that's the legacy side of the evening. The other awards are based on Scoff's aims of developing the sport in Scotland, promoting excellence, and building community. So in the development awards category, there are individual contributors, youth contributors, adult and youth contributors, and they're both split by individual and team. So there are the development award for adult teams, the development award for youth teams, and then adults that focus on youth and adults that focus on anyone that focuses on developing youth and anyone that focuses on developing the adults. In the excellence, it's a reward for performance. So essentially, team of the year and outstanding player of the year. That one's split. I think the youths are split there, maybe. I think they're split by under 17 and under 15, maybe. I think that was the way it was. I didn't write it on the graphic, which I'm looking at now, which makes it very difficult.
Yeah, it says Excellence Award Team Youth.
Yeah,
and then Excellence Award under 17.
So I think one's under I think one's under 15 maybe, and one's under 17 perhaps. We'll work it out.
Yeah.
And yes, and then there's the community award for supporters, which is kind of written in kind of not a weird way, but it's basically for the people that do exactly that. They support, rather than kind of actively take set foot on the field. So and I think when I posted them all, I did actually kind of write down what they called, the description, that's not the word I'm looking for, but the description of the award and the criteria, that's the word, the criteria for which the individual nominees are kind of being judged against. So we'll start with development, because that was the one we posted about the longest time ago. So the development award for individuals is for the person that has aided the development of the game of flag football the most in a calendar year. And the development award team, which I love, is for the team that has showed the biggest improvement from the previous calendar year. So it's not necessarily about finishing standings, but it is about kind of the improvement that we've seen. Yeah. So your Scottish Flag Football Awards Night nominees in the Adult Team Development Award are the Edinburgh Gunslingers, the Edinburgh Outlaws, the Grangemouth Flag Football Club, and the West Lothian Chargers. And obviously this is one of the ones I don't know the answer to. I actually don't know the answers to any of these on the development side. But this conversation must have lasted a while, because you can make an exceptional argument for every single one of them.
Easily. Like, I know who I voted for is on here, but like, you could go for literally any of them. From the Mustangs, for example, being a high seed, doing well. The Chargers, from where they were being just okay to ending up the season a little bit better than okay. I'm kidding. The Gunslingers, and then obviously Outlaws, like, as the Edinburgh contingency. All of them, all four are deserved of it. They've been phenomenal this season.
Yeah, and I really can't stress enough like how big it is just to make it onto the final nominations board.
Big time.
Like
Big time. The Chargers will be. I remember, I think it was Dave Charleston. Was he not posted about it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just to see the community, it's amazing, and the people that we have, and all of them have got a chance to win it. And whoever it is, someone's going to be disappointed, but at the same time, to just be recognised in a small pool, like you did well, like you did amazing. Like this shouldn't make any difference to whether you win or lose it, but.
Whoever steps up on Saturday night will be well deserved.
Yeah.
On the youth side of things, the Dunfermline Kings, the Glasgow Hornets, the Glasgow Tigers, and the Tayside Longhorns are all up. All have shown marked improvement on the year before. Shout out to the Longhorns; they've been around for about 5 minutes and made BAFA finals in the youth. So congratulations to them. Obviously, the Hornets had a great run at finals. The Kings youth and the Tigers youth maybe a wee bit more established, but they've continued to build, and we're starting to see some really impressive play coming out of, especially if you are going to be at Junior Winter League coming up. Stick around and watch these guys because you'll be impressed by how they are. And in the youth side for the development award, Alan Bigham, Gillian Mackin, Simon Mackin, and Thomas McDonald, all well worthy. Alan, as well as the work he does for his club, is kind of part with the works with Scoff. He's one of the other people in the working group who does a lot. Gillian and Simon, I believe, are Tayside Longhorns, and have really helped grow that club. And Thomas McDonald is with the Hornets youth, and is all developing the youth side of obviously the incredibly successful Hornets club. So yeah, congratulations to all of those guys on being nominated. The development award adult surprised me to see my own name on a graphic I had to build.
Oh, I add me.
So Andy Keith, myself, Dave Charleston of the Chargers, and Heather McGowan of Aberdeen Flag Football have all been nominated there for helping to develop the sport. Very kind. I don't know who filled the nominations out, but that was very kind of anyone who thought that I was worthy, and I know that Andy kind of felt the same way. And yeah, so this is also one of the ones that I was deliberately kept in the dark on, because obviously I can't be in the room when this conversation was happening. But yeah, so that's development. A fantastic group of people. And yeah, a really nice list to see how things are going. In the excellence category, which, as I mentioned, Scottish-based player who has shown the most outstanding performances on the field throughout the calendar year, starting with Flag and New Year in January. And the Excellence Award, the Scottish team that has performed the best on-field performance in the calendar year, starting with Flag and New Year in January. So yeah, important to note for the future that it is Scottish-based player. It's not necessarily, holds a Scottish passport, as it were. You play for a club, you are eligible in Scotland. You are eligible regardless of where you were born. So the Excellence Award for the adults, Ainsley Barclay, Brendan Campbell, Cammy Wilson, David McAnally, and Nicky Farrell.
I mean, no qualms there.
No.
Phenomenal players, a lot of them.
All phenomenal players, all had fantastic years. Yeah, obviously Ainsley with the Bees and the Pirates, Brendan with the Stangs.
Phenomenal season, Brendan. And a well-deserved call-up, I think, for the Broncos next season. He's going to be a great player for them.
Yeah. And then obviously Cammy, Nicky playing with the Hornets, and then obviously Macca also with the Hornets. And he also had a great tournament in Lati earlier this season for Great Britain. I don't know if that factors in or not, but he was exceptional. So it would be hard for me to separate that out. I don't know, but
Yeah, he's we all know Maka. He's as well as a great human being. He's just like fantastic defensive stalwart. And for the Hornets, if you don't have him, you miss him. And when you've got him there, it's scary.
Yeah.
And his performances at obviously at the World Championships were just incredible. Real ball hog. Yeah, it's hard to kind of pick anyone from that. They've all had superb seasons this year, and it was just nice to see like Cammy back from injury, playing well. Like Nicky just take his team all to the finals and driving them there. I mean, he's came on leaps and bounds as an individual talent. His abilities have just grown and much more mature as a quarterback, I feel. But all of them, from Ainsley as well. The things it's like the regionals. I think it was last year the regionals, but that kind of rolls on through like Winter League and then the Bees and EKP. It's like one of the better female players we have in the country, not just in Scotland. So some good names in there,
Yeah,
a wee bit of talent.
I think there's going to be a lot of noise as we go through the evening.
Yeah,
in terms
I
of,
just want. Is there going to be like behind like bit? So here are your nominations, and then like clips getting played of like highlight reels of them and stuff.
I don't know if there'll be necessarily highlights and stuff. But I think there is imagery. I'll leave it there. I'll drop the tease.
Okay. See, I'm trying to do the community well here. We're trying to get any sort of spoilers for you, Ben. I'm trying.
I know what I know, and I will tease. But if you want to, if you wanted to go and find out, you had to buy a ticket. So
there you go. Now, where can you buy a ticket, Ben?
Well, you can't anymore. It's shut. But you should have already bought one. So the team youth for the excellence is the Glasgow Hornets, the Glasgow Tigers, the Dunfermline Kings under 12, and the Tayside Longhorns. All worthy names there for teams that have had fantastic years, and it was really cool to see them at finals. There's been a couple of years, where the youth game in Scotland's been a little bit disjointed, so it's been hard for those teams to qualify and get down the road for the finals weekend. But seeing a couple of Scottish teams kicking around was very cool. Yeah. It was very cool. The youth nominations are CJ Luden, Greg Keane, Jamie Ennis, Leah Kendrick, and Noah Malloy. Shout out to Leah. She won our like and share competition before the Worlds. So I'm sure all of the success she's had has been due to those fantastic new gloves that she got from EP Sports.
There you go. Yeah.
Sure. I kid. All of these guys have had incredible seasons. Obviously CJ's been with the Bees. I think Leah was at the Junior Euros. Yeah, and all of them I think have been with Team Scoff at their age group. So really impressive from them. And then the younger ones, the under 15 youths, we've got Aidan Griffin, Justin Goodall, Logan McPhee, Oliver Morgan, and Skyla. Sorry, Skyla, I'm going to absolutely butcher this. Bezwidin, please tell me how to pronounce that, and I'll do it properly next time. But yeah, Skyla Bez on Instagram makes it much easier for me. So, because she likes everything. So
we won't talk about you trying to spell names and write names on posts, will we, Bez?
No, we shouldn't do that. So yeah, shout out to them. I don't know enough about the under 15 to talk about them individually, but I am looking forward to hearing all about them on the night. The excellent award for the adult teams. Pretty easy. They were the Hornets, the Outlaws, and the Mustangs. Are three teams that had fantastic seasons. So yeah, that's the excellence category. I am rattling through these because I know that time is ticking on.
And I've got a few like a bit smaller news items that we'll just splurf. So
okay. Before the main event.
Exactly.
Yes, the community category. So in the community category, this is what I was talking about before. The supporter award is for a person in the community who hasn't taken the field all year as a player or a coach, however, has supported the development of the game in some capacity across the year. And the community award is the person/team that has been recognised as bringing the most fun or community spirit to the sport in Scotland. So in the supporters award was Andy Keith, and I will come back to Andy on this particular award shortly. Ashley Luden, David Grant, and Barry Sinclair were nominated as a dynamic duo. Gemma Donnelly and Tracy Mitchell. So Andy was specifically nominated for this one for the work he did around GB. Now, obviously, Andy is not a GB player. He is out there on his own dime, using his own annual leave, renting equipment by himself, and basically out there because, nice guy, tries hard, loves the game. And for that reason, because it was GB focus that he was nominated for, he was considered eligible for this. So even though he stepped foot on the field for the Oil Cats consistently every single week, this was slightly different. So that's why he's on the list. In terms of the outright community award, I had to write my own name again. So from myself, thank you to those that think the work that Tree and that I do chatting into a microphone every fortnight is worth it. It was touching to read some of the nominations. I did get to see this one. I don't know who won it, but I did get to see the nominations, and it was very nice of you all to see for that. Obviously Andy, once again, for all the work he does keep with the community. Brian McNeil, the Dunfermline Kings, and the Renfrewshire Raptors are the other. And there is also an award for the memory capture, which is a photograph of the best kind of.
Remember that in the forum, yeah.
Yeah. So those photos will be shown and announced on the night. And the only other thing. Oh, on you go.
Because as long as my name doesn't go with the picture I put in, that's all that matters.
Oh, it did. It did. And the only other thing that I have for you on the kind of Scoff Awards is that this very night, it's Tuesday as we record, this very night, there will be a raffle at the event, raising some money. But one prize is being offered out to the entire community, whether or not you'll be there or not. So for the price of just £10, and you can enter on the Scottish Flag Football Facebook, on the Way We HNC It Facebook, and I'll make sure that the link in the stories of the Way We HNC It stays current. And if it's not there, just drop the page a message and I'll fire it out. It's a Google form. You can win a framed and signed Odell Beckham Jr. jersey.
Very cool.
From the Giants. And someone said to me earlier on, isn't it nuts he's on his fourth team since this?
True, yeah.
But yeah, it is legit. It has been donated by a member of the community to try and raise some money. So thank you to that person. I don't know who you are, anonymous person, but thank you very much for your generosity. And that, I spoke to Alan earlier on, that will be posted anywhere in the world. If it can be posted to you and you win it, it will be posted to you. So even though it's raising money for flag football in Scotland, if you are one of our listeners from across Europe or in the rest of the UK, you can enter. You're encouraged to enter. It's just a tenner, and at the end of the day, you might win yourself a signed and framed Odell Beckham Jr. jersey. That's what I have for you on Scottish Flag Football Awards.
There you go. Is it the second?
Yeah, so it's a week on Saturday as this goes out.
Nice. Well, Bez, good luck, my friend.
Thank you.
And for all the winners, good luck to you all. Unfortunately, I can't make that one. I was wanting to go, but unfortunately, it's a prior arrangement. So let's just say, unfortunately, so I'm quite disappointed I couldn't go.
Well, I'll text you. I'll let you know the winners as it happens.
Oh yeah, the Bulls chat will probably go a bit mental and stuff during that night as well, I imagine. But
they know they've won, so that's easy. It's easy for them. They can chill.
They know they're going at three beers deep before they get into the place. So I did have additional news, and we'll just go bullet points, Bez.
Yep, go for it.
So did anyone else see the NFL game day? Where we got our BAFA national flag football players got to go a wee run out. That was pretty cool.
They did during the
shout out to them guys.
So they've started it's the NFL London Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
and I think
that was pretty cool.
And Ozzy was going in, and the Guard of Honor was members of the GB flag football.
I didn't know that. It was when Sarah Wickland put up a post on her Facebook. I was like, oh, I didn't know this was a thing, and I put on it. I was like, oh, there they are there.
Yeah, it was sick. It was cool. And there was a big, I think the week later they did so Sky Sports did I don't know if anyone caught it. Sky Sports did a show.
I saw that actually. Yeah, I've seen highlights of it.
The rise of flag football. So I think they played the highlight reel and maybe a part of it in the stadium as well at halftime. So their NFL flag obviously is a big kind of offshoot of the NFL, trying to grow flag football, and you see it a lot in the juniors as well. So
yeah, I'm sure
some of the juniors are playing on the pitch the week after one of the games. They're playing flag in the Tottenham Stadium. So
that's ace.
that
I like
cool.
that.
Flag
Yeah,
football in the
was
stadium.
it? There was one I seen where Phoebe and they were playing with Prince William. I think they're flying. I've seen that as well. Oh, that was pretty cool. And then the other little bit was a little shout out to, I think it was the Hamilton Buccaneers and the Kings got to do a little showcase at halftime between the Scottish American flag kitty team under 19 versus Team North, which is pretty cool to get another little showcase for the kids.
Nice, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, so I don't know if it was a game at halftime, but there was a video of them like running out, Bez, at the start, and they were totally cheering up the crowd, like "Woo, let's go!" And they were like running out. I was like, "That's amazing!"
Love that.
So shout out to the Bucks and the Kings for getting some flag football in front of people during the Team Scotland under 19 versus Team North. Well done, guys. And I think that was the other little bullet points I just had was just newsy things I picked up on, just giving people wee shout outs. But I think that was pretty much everything, other than what we discussed was like the Commonwealth Games stuff, but that doesn't really matter to flag. That's a personal thing.
We did have a hope, an underlying hope that there might be a Commonwealth Games.
Yeah, maybe in the future. Yeah, we be talking about Olympic flag and how it could be like maybe utilised. We could have Scotland, England, Ireland, Wales. It could happen.
I think I did some very low key research, and I think I found it was maybe 15 Commonwealth nations that had a social media presence that for American football that contained flag. Mm-hmm. But yeah, obviously the news came out today that it's going to be a stripped down Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. 19 events is becoming 10. So yeah, the chances of flag football sneaking in, I think, are kaput. So. But yeah, I did have a novel suggestion for trying to make it happen anyway, but I don't think I have the infrastructure available.
We'll run it by our commish if we ever get a chance to speak to them. Yeah,
exactly. If we ever get the chance, we'll have a word.
And there was only one other final one I had, Bez, with the Youth Development Day that are being hosted by the Sheffield Giants Academy. It's on the same weekend as the awards on the 2nd of November for players that are 10 to 17 years old. So if you want to be around other like-minded kids and get a bit of a development day, it's a bit of a travel for us Scottish folk to go down to Sheffield sort of direction. But if you have the opportunity to go, definitely worthwhile having a wee trip down the road. And get some youth development planning and playing for a day.
Absolutely.
I think that was all. I think that's all the things I had on my little list. Cool. I think that's the news. I don't have time for the weather, Bez. If you want a weather segment, I can maybe leave that for
future with the weather for another day. Yeah,
we'll save that for another day. All right, a little
next time is a game day for
a pollen count. Tree related
UV exposure.
Yeah, get your vitamin D, boys and girls. I'm not going to go to that far with the news, unfortunately. Yes, people really, really want a flag football weather report for the weekend, which I tell you would actually be pretty decent. The amount of times I've turned up to the flag day and went, I never looked at the weather for today, and you don't bring your wellies, your umbrella, your suntan cream, or a windbreaker, or a snow plow or shovel.
And that's just the first half in Aberdeen.
Yep, exactly. So that might be worthwhile in the future. Who knows?
There we go. Okay, well, on to what was going to be our main segment, but we are already an hour in.
Are we? Wow. We get to waffle.
Turned it down that time. But
yes,
you
did turn
on to nice. Our main segment for the show. The Women's Flag Football League is, it's not just back. It is so back. It is so good. This weekend was, quite frankly, nuts. So we had two teams on byes. The Birmingham Lions back in the league after a very long layoff. And the Coventry Cougars were over in Champions Bowl, which is something that Tree should have mentioned on the news but didn't. Congratulations to the London Smoke on a bronze medal. Champions Bowl.
Yeah, Champions Bowl, that tournament. Yeah.
That happened. So the Cougars were over there representing the kind of the British champions. So they did not participate in week one, but everyone else did. So we had a whole bunch of new changes. We've got realignment into two conferences who will play a round robin against each other. We, for the first time in ages, we actually do have a conference called the HNC.
Yay!
The Highland and North Conference and the MSC, the Midlands and South. So the Midlands and South went first. So obviously as we said, the Lions and the Cougars were off this week, which left us the Panthers, the Amazons, the London Flame, the Leicester Huntsmen, the Iceni Spears, and then the University of Nottingham Gold and Green squads. It was a week game day hosted by the Huntsmen, who were at Loughborough Uni, I believe. And it was a lot. There was a lot of stuff going on. So
There was. I took a lot from it, especially like the Flame. I'm like, who are they? And you look at the scores: 66-0, 46-0.
So you do know who the Flame are.
Well, yeah, I kind of had a guess to who they would be. It's not going to be nobody.
So the Flame are the former West Saxon City, but they've rebranded. A lot of them are training or are playing in the mixed league with the Smoke teams across the 3 squads, and they've done a fair whack of recruitment as well. So they've rebranded. They're underneath the Smoke Club banner. So yeah, welcome to the Flame brand, and welcome back to kind of some of their core. But yeah, the first one of the things that really I noticed, and a lot of people noticed early on as we were posting the stories of the scores, was terrible day if you had both teams to score on your bet sheet.
I didn't say anything on this, but I'm glad you brought it up. I have never seen a graphic with so many zeros. I was shocked.
There was 13 games, one of which was forfeited. So of the 12 games that were played, that were actually physically took place, 11 of them were shutouts. I have never seen anything like it.
Never.
I could not believe it as it was coming in.
I thought it was a mistake, Bez. I think I was going down the graphic thinking maybe Bez is like maybe not put the right number in or something. Or
to be fair, it does happen.
I'm not going to say anything on that matter with making mistakes on graphics, Bez. But yeah, to have like 2 zeros, I'm like, nah, surely not. Because I was looking at the games thinking like, surely like the uni teams would play each other, or somewhere it would be somewhere where you'd play each other. But it always seemed to be the big guns playing against them, like the Huntsmen, the Amazons, the Panthers, the Flame, and they never really played against each other. Like the uni teams never played against each other. The Spears never played against each other. The Panthers never played the Amazons. Let's just say
they should have done, but they didn't.
They should have done, but they didn't. Yeah,
yeah. It was. I mean, it's the luck of the. It was the luck of the schedule.
You never know it.
There are. I think personally, without knowing kind of what the Lions are going to look like, and as kind of as a new team, I think there are 5 teams fighting for 4 places. I think that the Flame, the Panthers, the Amazons, and the Huntsmen are 4 teams battling for the final 3 spots, because I'll lock the Cougars in to have one of them now.
Because there's no cross conference now, is there? Like no, you don't play the South.
It's a double round robin. So the number 1 seed in the Midlands and South will play the number 4 seed in the HNC in the final at Ravenscraig, and it will be a bracket from there on in. So yeah, I think there's 5 teams fighting for 4 playoff spots there. And that's very exciting. It
is for us.
So yeah, exactly. For us kind of spectators and just fans of the players, and and the sport, like it is going to be really really exciting. A lot of the teams this year are kind of focused on development. I spoke to a huge group of players, and thanks to everyone that kind of got back to us with our kind of questionnaire ahead of the season. But yeah, like there's a lot of positivity. So I know that that kind of top 5 that we're kind of maybe expecting, they all basically think that they've got a chance of making into the top 4, which is, it's going to be thrilling. I think it's going to go down to pretty much the final game day. The Huntsmen were right on the edge last year, but they're back in now, and they've got kind of new recruits. Jess Jess Allen, who's their quarterback. She
was missing game day one.
She didn't play the weekend, but she will be back. She played with the Silvers, the GB Silvers, women's side. They've got a couple of kind of youth players coming through, kind of from the under 17s. So I think they've got a real chance to kind of dramatically improve. The thing that is scary personally is the Cougars were down a lot of people last year. Niggly injuries, people either completely missing seasons or playing hurt, and they still won the national championship. They are back this year, reloaded. So yeah, I think it's going to be fierce, because you look at some of the offenses in that game day, and there's a lot of points went up there.
A lot of points. Yeah, considering you've got like 70s, 60s, 50s, that's hard to do, even when you are, either playing against good teams or weaker opponents. Trying to still put that many points on is still hard to do.
There are 3 teams with over 135 points scored
already,
and the Panthers, although they've played 3, won 3, actually only played 2, and they've got almost 100 points as well. So
yeah, it's nuts. That's going to be a really interesting division to watch. It always is going to be cool to watch them as the kind of year goes on. We get the exciting part. I can always seen them at the end of the year, but as we can kind of look at it from a distance and try and get insights. Yeah, that you're right. The top 5 there. Good luck trying to pick who's going to make the playoffs and who's going to be disappointed by not making it. Yeah, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that shakes out. Yeah, so the other ones I want to talk about were in the north. We actually had more of the kind of true first time teams joining us. Obviously, the Flame are new, but they're kind of not, because we recognize a lot of the players. However, in the north, we had the Aberdeen Snowcats entering the league and playing literally their first games. The Huskies, they have played a couple of tournaments already. They were at Flagapalooza last year. They travelled across to Who Runs the World, Ireland, in Dublin last year, which looked like an amazing tournament as well. They've had a couple of friendlies with the Titans and the Huntsmen and Leeds. So they've started to get kind of reps, and they are now ready. They're now in the league. And it was cool on week 1 for those 2 teams to play each other. Obviously they'd know nothing about each other, having,
I'd be oblivious. And obviously the Snowcats is you got Scott, obviously there you've got Heather, Gemma, Michelle. They've got a little bit of experience there, but still collectively very inexperienced from the Snowcats. I just want to know what noise they make.
Meow.
Meow. Yeah. Meow, 'cause it's cold in the snow.
It is. Shivery meow.
I'm just like, who came up with the name, Bez?
The team did.
Where'd that come from? The team came up with it.
The team did. The team were, so when the concept was first kind of started to be worked on properly.
It's been a long time coming. I remember being up to you guys.
It was kind of last year.
It was last year, yeah.
It was kind of the start of Friday Night Flag last season, as it were, last off season.
Yeah, it was beforehand, wasn't it? It was a session before.
It would have been like 2020, early 2023, I think. So very early 2023, like May 2023, there was like a couple of tryout days, and it, for various reasons, kind of stalled a bit, and then it came back during, and it was never going to be ready for last season. It was never shot to be ready for last season, and then through some very, very hard work from the committee and the group that are kind of involved with really growing the sport in Aberdeen, on the women's side, kind of through last year's Friday Night Flag, and then keeping it running over the summer, and then it kind of all over the summer came to fruition with, and the number of required registrations coming down from, is it 12 to 10, obviously really helped, because you can register a team with a couple of fewer bodies. I think having a longer season is going to really help. I think we'll pull more people in. But those kind of changes to the rules really allowed it to gain momentum. And there's that urgency as well when you know you're in for this year, for people to keep coming back and keep practicing, knowing that there's
something to play
knowing
for.
that there's going to be the league. So yeah, I've not really been involved. I can't remember. I'll be brutally honest. I can't remember the last time I done our cats training. Just living where I live. So I don't know any of them. I have no more insight into the team or the players than anyone else that's not there week in, week out. But at the same time, as a former chair of the club, it makes me maybe feel very warm and rosy on the inside when they got their first win.
Even as an outsider, Bez, I'm a fond lover of the Aberdeen club. It was phenomenal. Like I love seeing those results coming. Even the picture of the squad, I'm like, oh, I know them. And the reels come up like, oh, sakes, and it's just like shirts. I know. It comes across really well, and it's something that I think, as you're saying, for you, it obviously means more, but even for the community, it's good to see the kind of the growth of the sport in your area, and in the northern part of Scotland, to have an ability to have another Scottish team.
Yeah,
it's great.
That's as well. Like, that's the cool thing as well. Like it's an extra team. So, and then they took a big scalp in their second game, 24-25, defended an XP.
Is that what it came down to? Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I think they were 25-18 up, and Leeds scored, and then didn't make the extra point, and that was enough to hold on for the second win. So the Snowcats 2-0, at the top of the table, undefeated after 1 week, which I'm not sure anyone had on their bingo card. But
I wouldn't have said so.
Congratulations to the team and to the coaches for going all the way. Like your very first game being away to Manchester is stiff.
Welcome to American football in the UK.
Welcome to the league. But I mean, the big thing we need to talk about is the East Kilbride Pirates. They might have two teams now, but their number one squad, the Black Squad, did not miss a beat. Straight back in 35-6 over the Titans.
Yep. That's big.
Playoff team from last year. 53-0 over the Bees. And then another playoff team in the Giants, 40-14.
I was about to say, because that's your top three. Like, if you said to me, hey, Tree, what do you think the top three are going to be in this division? I would have went EKP, Titans, and then Giants.
Giants, yeah.
And then probably Samurai just off the back of that.
And then the fourth spot is a good battle. But like, gosh.
Yep. We assert your dominance early.
An absolute statement of intent. Like, yeah, big game day. Get your season off to start 3-0. Fantastic for them.
And in Manchester as well. So no excuses of like they didn't travel or it was like they have a full squad. You're in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, exactly. And the Giants didn't look terrible either. Like they put 52 points up on the AKP Red squad, the second squad, and they got the job done 40-6 over the Huskies. The Samurai's other game, 31-6 over the Huskies. Where was the other Titans game? 46-0 over EKP. Weird home day for the Titans, just the two EKP teams. But yeah, the Titans Bees picking up a win against EKP Red. That was interesting, kind of the battle of the second squads. I think seeing, and I feel the same with the Huskies and the Snowcats. They're going to see each other again pretty soon, either week 2 or week 3. I think they see each other again. So the rematch is on, because week one, no one feels good week 1 of the season.
No.
Right. I think no one feels good week 1 of the season. Well, apparently the EKP Black do, but no one feels good week 1 of the season, especially if you're new to the league. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how those rematches go. Obviously, there'll be a bit of less travel, or a bit more travel, depending on kind of which team you're in and where you're going. But yeah, I think in terms of the EKP Black, they've kind of had their big test, really.
Exactly that. I think they've had their hard test early. If they've done this now, you don't want to call it after week 1. You're just you're asking for trouble. But
yeah, so week 2, the Pirates Black have the Pirates Red, the Snowcats, and the Huskies. So then we can
Okay.
comfortably assume that'll be 3 more
6
wins
in all.
for them.
Yeah.
But the battle between those other teams, between the Red, the Huskies, and the I think are going to be similarly grouped.
I think so.
It'll
That's
be
going
very,
to be
very
fascinating.
interesting to see them. On the other side, though, down south, hosted by the Giants, we're going to have the Samurai, the Titans, and the Bees all playing each other.
Yeah.
Which again throws up some and the Giants, sorry, obviously because they're hosting, throws up some very, very interesting matchups as well. We're going to, because the Giants are going to play the Samurai are going to play the Titans.
Oh, really? Okay.
So that'll all be pretty good. The Giants and the Titans miss each other though. They don't play each other.
Really? It's normally like the week 2. That's when you get a fresh indication about like where teams usually are. Like week 1, there was a cheeky little upset there, but as it gets to week 2 and you start to see things kind of not flatten out, but you start to see the patterns of where teams are going and the
start to get our storylines after 2 weeks.
The Samurai one is going to be the one where they're always being competitive. They've always been there or thereabouts, and it's about taking that leap, and it is around the teams that you want to be beating in the playoffs. You want to be beating the Titans. You want to be beating the Giants. You want to be beating the EKP. So they'll probably take a bit of a kick from getting beat by the Snowcats, I think. And maybe that's just a little bit of a wake up call for them to come in next game day, hit the ground running. Let's really focus in. So maybe that's just what they needed to get their season going. A lot of teams are like that. Week 1's difficult. Find your foot, you'll get into it week 2. So that's where you can see teams like that change and come around the other side and come out really well.
Yeah, I think for the Samurai side, they'll be disappointed with that one, and if it comes down to a game, or a half game at the end of the season, I think they'll look back on that one as one that they feel like they should have got.
I think
on
so.
day one, because your wins in December are going to, and well, not even December, your wins in October are going to count the same as the wins in February. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. In terms of the MSC game day 2, obviously we see the Lions and the Cougars arrive
game day
for the first time, which is going to be big. It's a very kind of inflated schedule. They're all the teams there are going to play.
I was about to ask you about this. They're all going to be there. That's a mega schedule.
So the Amazon, the Huntsmen, the Lions, the Flame, the Cougars, and the Panthers are all going to play 4 games a day. Whereas at the kind of the other game day, we're going to see the Green, the Gold, and the Spears play each other in that kind of round robin. So we'll see some that we expect those teams to kind of be in a similar kind of group come the end of the year.
What date's that?
Sorry, what was that? What date?
What date? Yeah, when's that weekend the games happening?
So week 2 is the 16th and 17th of November.
Cool. Thank you very much, guys.
So yeah, we'll see them. The Spears, Green and Gold, they'll all kind of do battle. So we'll expect some wins there. Obviously, kind of separate out what's currently the bottom of the table. But there are some crackers in the kind of the other game day. We're going to have the Amazons and the Huntsmen. We're going to have the Flame and the Amazons. We'll have the Amazons and the Panthers, the Cougars and the Flame. That could be a cracker.
Feisty one. Yeah.
The Cougars and the Flame will go at it. The Cougars and the Amazons, the Cougar and the Huntsman. So yeah, and obviously the Lions will make their kind of debut in the league this year. It's a pretty tough day for the Lions.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. They've got both. They run the Coventry Gauntlet.
Oh goodness gracious!
So yeah, the Coventry Gauntlet for them, and then London and Leicester to end their day. So there's a lot coming, and we'll kind of see how it goes. But as far as week 1 goes across both divisions, there was surprises, there was big scores, there was it was super
forfeit.
There was a forfeit drama. So yeah. But it does lead us to, for those of you that have managed to stick with us until the very, very end, after consistently trying in the put it a different way, in the NFFL, regular listeners and consumers of our Instagram account, our Facebook account, and the blog and stuff will know that we always have to say these are the unofficial standings. Don't book anything based on what we say. However,
yes, yeah.
However, for this year, for the WFFL, we have negotiated access to the master sheet. So when we post online, if we say you're winning the race to Ravenscraig, you're winning the race to Ravenscraig. We will be able to provide you.
And if we say book your hotel, you book your hotel.
Yeah, exactly. So if we think it's happening, it's happening. Obviously, Alan will kind of handle, as he does, the official correspondence with all the teams. We will not be able to share the official spreadsheet with anyone, but we'll make it look nice, put it into a graphic. We'll share it on Mondays after the game days, as always. And if once the scores come in, they'll get added in, totaled up. The spreadsheet magic will do its thing. I'll make a graphic and I will share it with the community. So the race to Ravenscraig is officially on. So the standings as they are in the HNC currently, the Pirates Black and the Aberdeen Snowcats are the top two with 100% records. In third place, we have the Sheffield Giants with a 66% win percentage. These Leeds Samurai are 1-1 on 50%. And on net points per game played, they sit above the Manchester Titans and the Manchester Titans Bees in 5th and 6th place, respectively, both also on 500 win percentage, while the Huskies and the Pirates Red are currently winless in the 7th and 8th in that division, but we know that will change next time out. While in the MSC, your top of the table team, having played 4 games, won 4 games, and scored 214 points, are the London Flame. The Coventry Panthers sit behind them, played 3, won 3. In second place, the Huntsmen, they went 3-1 on game day 1. So did the London Amazons, but as the Amazons have forfeited 1 game, that is the tiebreaker. So they are in 4th, while the Huntsmen are in 3rd, both on 75% win percentage. The other 4 teams, the Gold, Spears, the Green, the Lions, and the Cougars, are on 0%. But obviously, the Lions and the Cougars are yet to play a game, so all that will change very soon. But it's exciting.
It's cool. It's like, it's just a shame I can't get to watch more women's games. It's really good throughout the year and to have it back and have everyone talking about it and all the results and fixtures and standings and everything that's going on.
So game day,
game
day 2, Tree.
Yep. Where are we going?
So game day 2, is hosted by the Pirates. So if you're around, perhaps in the HNC, and other games you could maybe get to. Game day 4, also a Pirates home game, but the difference is it's like the Pirates Red and the Pirates Black both have hosting duties.
Yeah.
Game day 5 in the HNC is hosted by the Aberdeen Snowcats.
Ooh.
So they're going to have their first home game on the last day of the season.
That's pretty cool.
Up in Aberdeen.
I need to make sure I'm working up in Aberdeen that Monday or something, and then travel up the day before, or if it's on the Sunday or the Saturday. I don't think I'll be in Aberdeen though. I'd imagine you guys may put it in like Dundee or.
Well, I think the only teams that are scheduled, the only teams that are the 2 EKP sites, so they may be.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
To come to Aberdeen.
yeah, they can come to Aberdeen. That's not too bad. If it's like
not
asking like the rest of them to come up,
it's not like the Huskies are coming or anything like that.
Exactly. So that's not too.
There's a very funny, depending on how you look at it, because I know the trope is anytime in the old group, the old Flag Football America, UK group, whatever it was, Flag American Football UK group, anytime someone moaned about travel time, it would be like people would just comment like at anyone from the Wildcats, like at Bez, at Tom, at Mike, at Greg, whatever. So when Youngie put together the schedule, he included a travel time thing.
I love that. I'm all for it.
Approximation of travel based on town name / known hosting locations. These could be inaccurate, as a formula simply uses the town names to calculate and won't take into consideration traffic issues and roadworks, etc. It also only shows the travel in one direction and not the round trip. Okay? So
I love this.
The team that is traveling the second furthest in the league.
Is this for the women's?
In the women's league is the Iceni Spears, right? Because they're based out in Norfolk.
Okay, yeah. Right? They've got a lot of London trips and stuff.
So they are 11 hours and 5 minutes. So double that, right? So 22 hours. and back the whole season. There's a couple of others that are around the 10-hour mark. So the Flames are around 10 hours. The two Pirates teams are around 10 hours. One way.
Okay.
What time do you think one way?
How many game days is there? 5, you said.
So there's 5 game days. Aberdeen host one of them, so there's 0 time allowed for that. So the other 4 away days.
4.
What do you think the total one-directional time is? So the Spears are in Norfolk. They're traveling 11. Pirates are traveling...
I'd say about 19 hours.
20 hours and 38 minutes.
Not too bad. Okay, yeah.
So
Not too bad,
40 hours of travel.
That's mental.
41 hours of travel.
Yeah.
Almost 2 days of travel.
2 days of travel just to compete in a fat BAFTA flag.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Cool, though. I mean, it's just really puts to show, like, that's the commitment as a club that you have to make, and it's just what we're going to have to do. And the challenges as a club, that's what you're going to have to face, being able to travel that long, kids, commitments, family, working, jobs. There's so many considerations, and people coming into it have to know that. So it's good.
And it's
amazing
that, like, the league has grown to the point that there are now 2 conferences. Like, that's minimized, because obviously
that's amazing.
It could have been much worse, right? It could have been traveling south
much worse.
Could have been traveling south to somehow try and have to what if Aberdeen and Norfolk had to play each other? Like, that would have been chaos.
This is the influx we need, though. Like, this is good for the sport.
And the more the league grows, the less that will be a problem. So, yeah, long may it continue.
Amazing. Yeah. Maybe get our own HNC conference in the future. That'd be pretty cool.
We can hope.
It's not going to be far away, I don't think.
No, not too far. Not too far. A couple more years, and that could very much become a realistic outcome. But yeah, so that is the WFFL. Next game day 16th weekend of the 16th of November. Could be the Saturday or the Sunday. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, we'll bring you a full, obviously, preview episode before that kicks off. But yeah, we are all the way back, baby.
Love it. Winter League, WFFL, and it won't be long till it's back around to NFFL again.
God, it won't be. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Got Flag and New Year and Flag and Ironman to go as well. Early in the year. So
we spoke about those, really, about the teams and the entries and stuff like that. And I spoke to that.
It's ages away, mate. It's ages away.
You say that. I was gonna just next show be like, oh, I remember we were talking about that.
Let's get through Christmas first, right? We'll deal with that.
That's true. Let's get through
Christmas and Hogmanay, and we'll deal with that. Can't believe I just said Christmas on the podcast, and it's only October, but I did. Halloween
Christmas jumpers. We need to get them planned now, Bez. We've got it. This is the planning we need to do. It's now. Let's get the Christmas jumpers ready.
You need your Christmas jumper on in July, mate.
I did actually have it on in July. Yeah, I think that's an old one. I need to upgrade it. I'm going to see if I can upgrade it this year. I'll see if I can get some American football.
HNC at Christmas jumpers.
Bez, I'm sure we know some seamstresses.
There's got to be someone who knows.
There has to be someone out there that can knit us a jumper. Has to be.
Got to be. Cool.
There's a call to the community.
Yeah, there you go. And yeah, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we'll just say thank you so much for listening in with us this evening. It has been good chat and some fantastic football. And we will see you again very, very soon. And if you are attending the Scoff Awards, please do come and say hello. I do intend to be there, so please come and say hello. It'll be nice to put names to faces, particularly amongst kind of the junior side of the game. So looking forward to it. I know that Youngie has a lot of surprises and tricks planned for us all to enjoy. It's going to be quite some show. So yeah, we'll talk about it all once it's done and dusted. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. It is good night from Tree.
Good night.
And it is good night from me. Thank you very much for listening. That is the way we HNC it.